game after having your first loss? Could you talk about that? Ready to get back out in the court and play better?
Yes, sir. After the loss, kind of like opened our eyes a little bit. So we were just ready to get back on the court and get back to work and fix things in the areas that we had to make. We went back and watched film, and everybody came back to practice with a lot of energy and effort, and we're ready to bounce back.
How about you, Zep?
Like Janai said, went and watched film. I just feel like we had a pop on Saturday. I felt like Memphis was the most exciting team coming out, with most of the guys being from, Georgia on our team. I just felt like Memphis, they had that pop, and we went and filmed, watched it, watched our mistakes, watched the good things we did, and I just feel like, having that loss is gonna be a bounce back, loss, because, it helps us in many ways, from the defense, from the offense, and, you improve. When you improve, you go out and practice harder, do things better, and I think that's gonna help us.
Zeb, you feel like the energy is where it's kind of needed to be the last couple of practices after a loss like that?
Oh yeah, BP talked to us in film, and I just feel like the intensity been high level. A lot of teams don't have high level intensity practices, and I just feel like we've been running up and down, communicating, going the hardest possible, and it's different from last week.
Sure.
Janai, that y'all only had a couple blocks in that game after being so successful here in the game. They were the two by Dylan late. What were they doing to either pull the bigs away from the basket or get there successfully without y'all having a chance to?
Yeah, they kind of tried to pull us away from the basket a little bit, but it all boils down to it, just a little bit more effort. I feel as though, as a group, we could have played with more energy and effort on the defensive side. I know I could have made a couple extra efforts and probably blocked a couple more shots. Like Zep said, we was all kind of a little popped, just kind of a little slow, step behind everything. So that's all it was.
Zeb, do you feel like for the guards, defensively was kind of the same thing? Effort, kind of, the intensity against Memphis wasn't where it should have been?
I ain't gonna say it wasn't where it was supposed to be. It was just a little different. They had different sets. You had our 5-man guarding at the 3-point line, the top of the key, most of the sets. You had them setting high ball screens, which a lot of teams won't do. So it was kind of a thing like, they studied us pretty good. We picked the ball up. They point guard. He was shifty, fast. He knew what to do and when not to do it and when to do it. So I didn't think it was more of a pop. I thought it was more about, outsmarting, the opponent, and they outsmarted us that game.
I was going to ask you the thing you said about Zep getting to play your former teammate tomorrow.
Brendan Tucker.
Oh yeah.
What's that going to be like? Crossing paths. I know you've done that a couple times at this point here.
Well, it's gonna be fun, playing against my former teammate. I've been knowing him since he was a freshman with my old coach, Earl Grant. And, I love to see guys succeed, no matter where they are, whether it's D1, D2. I'm gonna be pretty happy seeing them, with him being successful over the last 2 years, and, I'm gonna be pumped for him.
It looks like you're moving around better out there. You feel like your ankle's about back where it needs to be?
Yes, sir. I'm fully healthy now.
Zep, how difficult is it when I think they made 8 straight shots there at the start of the second half, getting a lot of guys cut into the basket. When a team is in an offensive rhythm like that, how difficult is it to adjust defensively and slow them down?
It's hard because when you got great sets, great players, 1 through 5, it's hard to stop a momentum team. And when they got the momentum, no matter what your defense is like, it's like they can't be stopped. They have the unlimited confidence. That's how I felt like Memphis. They had that unlimited confidence. The goal was to beat us. The goal was to say we beat Auburn, win the American Conference, and they did that. I gave hats off to them. I respect the coaches, the players. and you know, it was just we got to go to the drawing board and look at it, and we watch film and, you know, learn from our mistakes.
Janai, I mean, how do you feel like first month of the season for you kind of went, especially on offense, and kind of how much more comfortable are you feeling kind of heading into this stretch than maybe you did at the start of the year?
Obviously, there's a lot of room for improvements. You know, offensively, like you said, I wish I could have, you know, helped my team out by being more efficient, produce a little bit more, get some more offensive rebounds during this first month of the season. And then on the defensive side, you know, I mean, I've had a decent defensive side, I feel like, but just being able just to stay low and help my teammates out and keep rebounding and blocking shots at a high level.
I guess talk about Georgia State. Obviously, you guys have watched some film and prepared for them. They obviously went to the tournament last year, won 3 games in the conference championship to win. They've always been a good team in the Sun Belt. What do you see as their strengths coming into tomorrow's game?
Well, I look at them as a sleeper team. You know, guys, you know, don't respect, like people in the SEC might not respect Georgia State. Well, I respect Georgia State because they got, you know, a former teammate of mine, great players, a lot of players from Georgia. So I'm a Georgia guy. Those guys can be pumped. Those guys wish they were at Auburn. So, you know, they're a team with some shooters, full of drivers, and, you know, they're going to be pumped to play in Auburn Arena, or the Neville Arena. So, you know, they're going to come in, you know, pretty excited to have Auburn on their resume that they played against us, the number 19 team in the country.
To piggyback on what Zep said, you know, they're going to be pumped. You know, we just came off a loss. So they also see that, like, they're beatable. So they probably want to come in with a lot of confidence, you know, to try to do the same thing. But, you know, like Zep said, they're a good team. You know, they got a lot of drivers. So, you know, we got to have each other's back, you know, by being in the gaps. They also have a couple shooters, you know. They have a couple bigs, you know, they're kind of young. But they're a good team, and we got to make sure we're in our A game because, like Zep said, they're a sleeper team.
Last 2 questions from Tobias.
Question for both. You both have experienced being on the other side, coming into a place like Auburn, particularly Janai, as you actually did last year. How does that experience help you guys now that you're at a place like Auburn? And then how do you convey that to your younger teammates?
Well, I look at it like this. I wasn't at Auburn 2 years ago. Stay humble. Make sure you're grateful. Because I couldn't be in this position right now. Those guys want to be in my position. They wish they were at Auburn. So I always look at it as, you know, always be humble, never take the opponent light, and work hard. I always stay patient and never take the opponent light. Look at everyone as the same. Because we all put on the shoes the same way, put on the clothes the same way. So no matter the name on the jersey, respect everyone the same way.
And, you know, to piggyback on what Zep said again, last year, you know, I was at a mid-major at Morehead State. So I'm just like, during this whole month, you know, and going to the game tomorrow, I just know the preparation that I was thinking when I was there, coming to play in like a school like Neville Arena, you know, arena like here, you know, so it's kind of like, I know my mindset, you know, my team's mindset was coming to upset them, you know, they're not as good as they say they are, you know, like we can beat them coming in here. So, you know, now that I'm here and, you know, to the younger players, just let them know that, like, you know, just like Chance said, like Zep said, tell like Chance, Johan, Trey, to be grateful for the opportunity, you know, make sure y'all come ready each and every game. You know, take no one lightly, because, you know, obviously it's Georgia State, it's not Kentucky or Tennessee, but every opponent's the same, like everybody's the same, so you gotta respect your opponents each and every way.
Anything else? All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.